What's up, everybody? This is A7X Van Ben, and I'm happy to announce that I'll be playing an 8 fleet competitive tournament, and it's going to feature some really good fleets. This is something I've been wanting to do for a little while, and here in the first quarter of 2024, I've been really hyped on making a lot of fleets, and I was going to just play them out a little bit kind of randomly here and there and just kind of do random matchups and one-off games. And the more fleets I got, the more I realized I wanted to make a tournament out of it. And I think some of these fleets could be more competitive than a lot of the fleets used in Vassal tournaments 1 and 2, especially Vassal T2, which was a 16 fleet tournament on Vassal that Xerix and I played out in 2016 and 17. And that was amazing. And kind of crowned UPS2, spoiler alert, but kind of crowned UPS2 as the best fleet of all time. But I think the time has come to finally do another competitive tournament. So I didn't want to do 16. It's just going to be too many games and too much time. It really adds a lot to the what I'm going to be doing. And I'm also going to be T2 had some flaws. We didn't use we didn't I don't think we used every single standard rule, and we banned mermaids in favor of the gods. And we also, a big thing was we got kind of sick of like redoing the islands and terrain for every game. So we eventually had like the same setup for most of the games. So here I'm going to do all standard rules. There's going to be island and terrain strategic meta going on probably every single game. So, which is going to add a lot of time too. And I'm also planning to record all the games. At least that's the goal. I don't know if I'll be able to, but some might be live. Most of them will not be live, just because it's a little harder to do a live stream and get it right and things like that. And sometimes I need like little breaks from the game a tiny bit. But I'm expecting, tentatively hoping to start this on Sunday, February 18th, 2024. I'm recording this on the 10th. Tomorrow, on February 11th, I am hoping to do a little play-in round. So I kind of ended up with like 9 fleets. So it's kind of awkward for a bracket. So I'm going to hopefully do a play-in round where UPS 4.1, a modified version of Darren's original UPS 4 fleet, is going to face an intense anti-UPS fleet called Kill That UPS, which I kind of think will win, but we'll see. And whoever wins that matchup is going to get to play in the tournament for real. And you can see the bracket I've got set up. This is based on fleet matchups. So in the first round, so we're going to kind of have that UPS versus anti-UPS in that playing game or playing matchup. And then in the first round, the first matchup is HMS GT UPS versus like an anti-UPS fleet that does have UPS in it. But anyway, so that's kind of the idea. And then, for example, the turn 1 victory fleet is going to face a fleet that is a good opponent for it, that has some negative UTs. That's actually a fleet I still need to kind of figure out a little bit. It's a fleet from Gazer Beam that I might modify a little bit to make it a little more competitive potentially, but it utilizes the island treasure trading ability. And then we've got Universal Pirate Swan, which is another UPS fleet, versus my Alter Abuse fleet that I'm excited to try out. And then the last match of round 1, we'll see the victor of that matchup face American Pirates 3 or possibly a different American Pirates 4 or 5 version. I don't know which variant is going to be officially entered into the tournament yet, but either way, it's going to be a really good American Pirates fleet. So I'm going to do it similar, but not quite the same as the Vassal tournaments from 2016 and 17. So rounds 1 and 2, the plan right now is to have them be best of 3 matchups. You have to win 2 games out of 3 to advance to the next round in those first 2 rounds. I know the final should definitely be a best of 5 where you have to win at least 3 games to win the tournament overall. And very similar to Vassal tournament number 2, where Xerix and I played it. So a lot of times in these competitive games, there's all these scores like 16 to 14, or it's like 15 to 12. And then you don't really, sometimes the series ends up 2 to 1 or 3 to 2, and it's really kind of inconclusive which fleet is actually better, especially based on just random treasure distribution and luck and stuff like that. which is okay. You can just say it's a toss up, and whichever fleet just got lucky or moved on, it's fine. There's a lot of luck in the game, so it's all good. But there's a possibility. I don't know if I'm going to have really time for this. I don't know if I want to do this, but unclear matchups might get extra games. So if a fleet kind of wins the round 2-1, but it was like really close and they got really lucky, or one of the victories felt like a total fluke, then there's a chance that more games could be played, which it opens up a can of worms, because then if the other fleet wins the fourth game, then it's 2-2, and then it's like, how many games are we going to play? So I'm hesitant to say that, but we'll see. It'll just be based on my best judgment, which I know makes it a little random, but I'm just trying to see which fleet is better than the other and make it a little more conclusive, possibly. And then hopefully we'll get a really good finals matchup and be able to crown a new, I guess, I don't know if it'll be, I guess that fleet could face UPS 2, I guess, at that point, but whatever. I haven't determined what I'm going to do after this yet. I'll probably take a break from competitive play after this is done. So I'm going to follow the setup rules. There's going to be the meta, the island terrain meta. So that's going to take some time to figure out, but I'll understand it better after that as a result. So, and then I'm going to track not just the scores, but I want to track which fleet went first, and I want to track the series score. So not just per game score, but in the 3 games, how much gold did each fleet get, things like that. That's not going to affect the result, but I just want to, it's kind of a curiosity thing, and I want to see if there's like a huge series blowout, or I don't know, it's just kind of a fun thing. It's fun to track stats with this stuff. So I'm planning to use as few house rules as possible. I want to keep it like as standard as possible. There's a couple that really annoy me. So I'm going to have bonus gold available. So if all players agree to use treasure tokens to record additional gold, they may also agree to treat those extra coins as standard treasure that can be stolen or parlayed, because there will be +2 abilities all over the place. And I think it's kind of lame when that can't be used to build forts. You can't use it for home against you for home island rating and things like that, and parley. So bonus gold is going to be fully available per that exception in the code. And I don't think Be Calmed should limit ships to being able to only move S when they can usually move with no masts. So because the ability text does not imply that. I know it's a thematic thing, but I'd rather play the ability as written than rely on external rulings. So anyway, and then 16 gold wins, sunken treasure split. So normally, a lot of times I have a house rule where sunken treasure is removed from the game, but you're supposed to split it in a regular standard 2-player game. So that's how that's going to go. That'll be interesting to adjust to, because I haven't used that in a while. And then some of the goals of the tournament, beyond just determining which fleet is best, and also eventually later after the tournament, trying to determine if some of these fleets are truly competitive enough to go against some of the best competitive fleets of the past, like High Pang Fort Frenzy, American Pirates, and the UPS fleets, especially UPS 2. Beyond just determining that and the best fleet of this tournament, I want to find out if anti-UPS fleets can truly upend the UPS meta. And if they do advance, can they actually win a full tournament? Or are they mostly just a one-trick pony that knocks out UPS, but then they get wrecked by American Pirates 3 or Alter Abuse or Treasure Traders? So those are the main non-UPS fleets in this tournament. So that'll be interesting. So I do anticipate either kill that UPS or the anti-UPS. One of those fleets I think will advance, but we'll see. But it'll be interesting to see if they come up against another fleet that doesn't have it. So, or if anti-UPS fleets need further optimization or further working on to actually become good enough to beat UPS. So not enough testing has been done on that front. So it'll be interesting to try that out. And then I also want to kind of see the value of going first. So I'm going to track, that's part of why I want to track that. And then eventually by the end of the tournament, I'll have stats on what percentage of the time did fleets go first, did they win. So that'll be interesting as well, especially because it plays into the home island selection process. So theoretically you should have a worse home island. So anyway, and then And then how much does the island terrain meta affect results? That might be hard to determine, but anyway. And then are either of these previous elements going first on the island terrain meta, are either of those more important than the luck of the treasure distribution? So there's going to be a lot of negative UTs in the non-UPS fleets, and that'll be interesting to see how that plays out and how devastating it is. That's part of why I'm including a version of Gazer Beam's Treasure Traders fleet, because island treasure trading can really help avoid negative UTs and also toss them towards enemies and the islands that they're exploring. So anyway, so those are the goals, and should be pretty fun. It's going to take a while, but I'm definitely planning to record as much of it as possible, and I'll definitely share the results. So question of the day is, which fleet do you think will win Tournament 3? So I was actually able to guess correct in Vassal T2. Not to brag too much. I don't know. It just, I don't know. I guessed that UPS 2 would win the tournament, and I was right. I haven't really thought about it for this one. So I might think a little bit more on it before I submit my guess, especially because, I think I'll wait because I don't want to influence the voting. I'm curious to hear which fleet you think will win the tournament. I realize when I'm posting this initially, some of these fleets won't be public, but you can always come back. All the videos for these fleets will be out by the time that their recorded games are public. So like I'll release Kill That UPS before this matchup is out there where you can watch the games. So anyway, so I'm curious to hear which fleet you think will win, and it'll be fascinating. I think it's gonna be super fun, and I'm really excited to play competitive on this kind of level at this scale, where it's not just random matchups on a whim. It's like a structured tournament and stuff like that. So it should be fun. I'm calling it Tournament 3. I don't really know. I have a better thing to call it. The first two like big tournaments like this, I did an 8 fleet tournament way back, probably 2015. But anyway, T1 was like 8 fleets on Vassal. T2 was 16 fleets on Vassal. So this one's not on Vassal. It's going to be solo in-person play. But I'm just going to call it T3 because that's, I don't know, it's the best name I got right now. So whatever. So thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a like, comment your answer to the question today, which fleet you think you will win. Feel free to check out the affiliate links in the description below to support the channel and my website, Pirates of Ben. And thanks for watching. I'll see you in the games. Stay tuned for the competitive action. There's going to be a ton of games.